Hey, Lost Ark community. If you're looking for fast, instant, safe Lost Ark Gold delivery, then look no farther. Head over to my sponsor, lostarkgold.com, and use code KITTY for 5% off. Hey there, Lost Ark community. Kitty King TV here, and today I'm going to go ahead and give you a guide on the Abyssal Dungeon, Tranquil Karkosa. Now, this dungeon is awesome, it's beautiful, and it's got quite a doozy of mechanics that we got to go over. So hopefully this guide will help some of you guys out. First mechanic that you guys will be able to see right off the bat, and you should have known from the Sea of Indolence, is you're going to have that breath bar or that bubble bar above your head throughout the entire time. So just make sure that you're refreshing on air, either going into the bubble pockets and just waiting for it to fully refresh, or clicking one of the bubble flowers with the active button G, and that will fully refresh your bar and respawn over time. So throughout the fights, there's going to be lots of abilities that if the boss hits you, it'll shoot out a lot of air from you. So you just make sure that you're watching it, especially on the last boss. You'll have a bunch of parts where you will need to watch that air because, he does lots of mechanics, so I'll get you down to 0. Next up of this dungeon, we have the first boss here, and this boss has a couple of mechanics you have to look out for. They're kind of hard to dodge at first, so you're going to need to learn the patterns and stuff, and when to go in, when to go out, and when to get air. Remember that he will hit you with abilities, and air will leave your body. So that's going to be the first thing. Always check to make sure your air isn't getting too low. Next thing up here, he is going to be doing circles, puddles all over the floor that'll hit you. Just dodge mechanics, regular dodge circles all over the floor. He'll cast that multiple times. He'll be doing this shotgun ability where everyone will get a marker, a shotgun on them, and it'll have a line in front of them. Now, it will do his regular gun attack cast on your ability, whichever way you're pointing. So when everyone in the raid gets that marker, they all have to look away from each other. Make sure you're not aiming at any teammates, and it'll do a conal shotgun shot, and it'll knock back as well. So make sure you're looking away from your teammates. Next ability here that we have to look out for is going to be his either shotgun or anchor ability. He will do a cone of either 2 blues, 1 red in a circle, or 2 reds, 1 blue in a circle. And these cones will be navigated by whichever he is holding up, whether that is his gun or his anchor. If he's holding up his gun, the blue cones are the ones that are going to be going off. If he's holding up his anchor, the red cones are going to be the ones that are going off. So if he's holding up anchor, run to blue is safe space. If he's holding up gun, run to red is safe space. The yellow hit markers are going to be the ones that will take air out of your body. So if you get hit by the circular yellow attack, or when he jumps and he does that yellow AoE smack, watch your air gauge and go refill after that. The next important big mechanic that he's going to do is he will spawn 2 sirens or 2 mermaids on the field. One is typically on the left side, one's typically on the right side of him. How I did this mechanic is I told the raid to split into our raid groups, and raid 1 will get the mermaid on the left, and raid 2 will get the mermaid on the right. You're going to need to use weak point abilities here to break the current bubble that they have around them and then kill them. The main boss will be charging up an attack here, and if they aren't dead by the time he's charged up, he will get a shield that you won't be able to break, and you will wipe. So as soon as you're able to kill those sirens, you break their bubble first, then you kill them. They will not be able to cast the bubble. Then you run to the boss and you break his stagger check. He will have a stagger check here as well. So make sure, as long as those are both dead and everybody's attacking him, you should be able to get through it fairly easy, and make sure you're just DPSing him down. That's going to be the major mechanics for this fight. Next up, you will have the second boss. Now, this boss is actually fairly easy compared to the other 2. We were able to do it first try. She doesn't have any raid wipes that will fully wipe the party. However, she does do a grab on one player, and it's going to be a stagger check. So you're going to make sure you want to break that stagger check, or it's going to be a rough time for that player that's being held in the party. Another thing that you're going to want to make sure you do is she will spawn these puffer fish from time to time, nasty little buggers. You want to make sure you kill them just as soon as they spawn, as quick as possible. And other than that, this boss is just going to be dashing around and just doing a whole bunch of abilities that you want to try and dodge and avoid. She'll be doing a lot of floor abilities. She'll make kind of a diamond around her that will launch you up in the air while she'll be casting floor poop abilities. Another major ability that you want to watch out for that she will do is she will cast a cone on a few players, typically like 3 players, and the cone will follow you. So you have to wait until the cone has fully finished and stop following you, then dash out of it to not be hit. But make sure that you're just aiming the cone away from the majority of your party members. Typically they'll run out of it or run away from you, but everybody can take the cone and put it to her side or to her back or whatnot. Wherever the majority of the group is not at, that's where you're going to want to put the cone. And then as soon as it stops following you, the cone will slowly turn blue and then finally white, and that's when you can dash out of it and get away safely. Last up is going to be the third boss. Now, this boss probably has the hardest mechanics of them all, but they're not very hard. They just take a little bit of team coordination. So as long as you can get your full 8-man to coordinate, you should be just fine. So for this fight, you want to pre-designate spots around the boss. Of course, just in a circle around the boss from north, northeast, east, southeast, south, southwest, west, and northwest. Of course, just in a circle around the boss, have everybody go in a spot. And the reason for this is the boss will do a couple minutes into the fight, the boss will do a mechanic that will spawn orbs, electric and water orbs in a circle around itself, and it's going to be invincible while it's doing this. So you want to stay fairly close to the boss. If you're too close, you'll get a slow, and it will slow you down. Now, this isn't too detrimental. It won't really hurt you that bad. As long as you have dashes, you should be able to get to the next orb just fine, but you want to try and avoid the slow. If you're too far out, during the second cast, there will be a ring that will kill you. So you want to be in that medium length. And what you're going to want to do is just, everyone is going to grab the first orb that's in their spot. And that is either going to be a water or an electric orb. Then everyone is going to rotate clockwise and grab the opposite element. So you keep doing that until the mechanic finishes, and it's very simple. It'll be water, electric, and it's just rotate after every orb one turn over. And that is very simple, very easy, very quick to do. However, during the second phase, there will be a section where the second to last orb will be the opposite color that you're already standing on. So you're going to grab your orb, rotate like normal, grab your orb, rotate like normal, grab your orb and stay, because instead of being water, it's going to be electric that time, or instead of being electric, it's going to be water that time, and then you're going to grab that orb and rotate again. Now, here you can see that our Berserker kind of did it wrong here, and he continued to rotate, and this made him get knocked back, and it also made me get knocked back by the next orb. Thankfully, everyone else on the team did it correctly, though, so the raid was fine, and everything went smooth because the boss only got one orb. It needs to get a couple orbs, and then it will fully wipe the party if they do. So again, make sure you're just waiting here, or you'll get knocked back, and somebody else will be getting knocked back if you take their orb or if they take your orb. The rest of the mechanics this boss has are just kind of dodging the conal attacks. He'll shoot cones from both of his heads. You can stay very close to the boss, and most of the time it won't hit you. He'll drop thunder and water on you in circles all around. For the most part, it's not really needed, but if you have lots of stacks of thunder or water, like electricity stacks or water stacks, you can grab the blue orbs and they'll give you a slight debuff, but they'll remove all stacks. So if you find yourself taking lots of damage because you're seeing that you have 3 or 4 electricity stacks from getting hit by abilities, just grab one of the blue orbs and it'll reset your debuff. That's going to really be it for this dungeon. I know you could all get through it. Hopefully this guide helps you out. Please let me know if there's anything I could do better. I appreciate you guys for being a part of this and watching the video. If this helped, please leave a like and subscription on the video. And we also stream on Twitch. So if you want to come by and stop by, say hello, feel free to follow me over on twitch.tv/KittyKingTV. And with that, I'll leave you guys to it. Good luck grinding Lost Ark community and have a good one. See ya.